Okay. Okay, why I'm choosing this Content Chameleon is actually because next week is going to be the last webinar for this year before we redo it again in January 2024. So in between that time, so in between until 20th December, I think 20th December, kan? Yeah, 20th December. So after 30th, from 21st December onwards until the next webinar in January, we don't have webinar plan. And it's for New Year's and Christmas, like most of it. And another part of it is actually like, I was thinking like, if I'm not doing webinar, do I need to do content also? Because most of the time when I did my content, it's always related to the webinars when people like go through the content for 1 week. So at the end of it, they reach to the webinar. But since there's no webinar, I was thinking like, what should I do? Like, do I need to create new content every day? So that's when I was thinking like, I have created content since we started in April. I think mid of April, 14 April, if I'm not mistaken. Each day has one content from then on until next week. And then each week I have a webinar, some sort of like 1 hour, 1.5 hour webinar, depending on the speaker lah. Like, you know, Wani like to give a lot. My side, I prefer more to like give condensed things. Same score half days also. Charles also we have. So based on that, I was thinking like, oh, there's actually a lot of content that I've created. So I was thinking, probably I should repurpose those things. So that's why these topics come in, because as I was planning my content repurposing for the gap period, I want to share the thought process with everyone also. So I know that those already creating content since the beginning, even though it's not a lot, you know that probably you create once a week. If you create once a week content, you by end of December you probably have 52 content, and that is a lot already, even though you don't count it. So hence that's the Content Chameleon about content repurposing itself. So these three things I'm going to cover tonight. Most of it like what is content repurposing, how you can do it, and which AI tools you can use to increase the efficiency. Some tools you already know, some tools might be new for you, so I'm going to introduce it. So the first part is what is content repurposing? So as the names suggest, is to reuse the content. So whatever existing content that you have, you take it, you reuse, and then you present it in a new format or give a new context to it. So that's what content repurposing is, like recycle also. So reuse, recycle thing. So that's where content repurposing come in. So when people think like, is it legit for content repurposing? Like people would know. I will cover that after this. Oh, hold on. Let me silent my phone. Okay, so content repurposing. So why you do content repurposing? One thing for sure is to help reach wider audience. So for example, you have a content that you created in a form of blog post. You know that this blog post already reached a lot of people through SEO, and the topic is evergreen. So when you think about your target audience and you want to reach to wider audience, like I have mentioned in my slide here, there are people that don't really go into Google nowadays. When they search for information, they don't go for Google, but instead they go for YouTube, or they go for TikTok, for example, because now you can search things, and Instagram also. So website isn't the only place in Google, or Google isn't the only place where you can find information. But Google is always like connecting everything. So they perhaps prefer to hear from real people, so that's why they go to TikTok. So that's where content repurposing comes in. So meaning like you have created, let's say you do 1 hour podcast with your guests, you talk here and there, and I was thinking like that podcast is just posted on YouTube, but it's not part of your TikTok, for example. You want to reach wider audience, you know that the topic is going to benefit wider audience, so that's why you repurpose that podcast, you break it into smaller chunks, and then you post it on TikTok. So not to say that you abandon the main content, which is the podcast itself, but you redirect that thing. So meaning that you create that content, you put in TikToks, you put a clips of it, and then you say, oh, and then at the end of the video, you put a call to action, watch full episode in YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So that's where to help you reach wider audience. So there are people that, for example, started doing content in TikTok, and then they move on to Instagram, and then they move on to YouTube. So in that way, you see that they repurpose content actually. You can see a lot of influencers also put in their caption, for example, like this video reached 1 million views in my TikTok, and then they post to Instagram. So that's what this part of it is, reaching wider audience means. And then the next part is to save time and resources. Because what I mean about save time is that one thing you need to show about me, you need to know about me is I'm lazy. So when I'm lazy, I try to find the easiest way to do things. So when I'm thinking about this content for this gap thing, I was like, oh, I have all this content in text, I can just convert into video and then like put on Instagram Reel, put on Facebook or YouTube short. So that's why I was thinking, okay, how can I do it easily? Then you have the flicky content that I've shown you before, how you can use flicky to do video from text to video. So that's where this comes in. So you don't have to use your head to find a content and create it from scratch. So this part is actually tiring because people can say like ChatGPT, easy. You can just put in a prompt and then say like prepare 1 week plan for content repurposing, for example, like I did for this content for last week. So when I did that, they give out a whole bunch of plan the content, but not all things I accept because they just give out like. So I would think, oh no, not this one, not this one. Oh yes, this part I can keep. And then I need to keep thinking what possible. I need to research also. So that takes time also. So when you have content, or when you repurpose content, you don't have to start from the scratch also. You just need to like convert it into new format. So that's where save time and resources part is. And then the next part is you reinforce your message. Why I say reinforce your message? Because when you keep repeating the same thing, you can like I said, reinforce the message. It's not like you repeat the same message within the same week. So one day you keep doing the same thing, you keep pushing the same content. So that thing is like myself, people say, this is old content, why bother watching it? So no, but you do it in a span of like 3 months. 3 months meaning in quarter for each quarter, you particular content itself. So that's where in the span of like reinforcing the message too. It's like when people say like exercise make perfect and practice make perfect. So that's where this thing also where you keep reinforcing people the message, so people keep. It's like I'm not sure if anyone like remembers DG old marketing campaign, the DG guy, I will follow you. If you remember that, just type yes in the chat. So that content was before social media, so it's mostly TV, and they keep repeating the same song. I will follow you, and then like keep using the same images and the same icon, the same mascot, the DG yellow people. So that's where like people sometimes like still remember that particular message also. So nowadays you can see like Maiden message, I think, about Maiden or Aeon, I forgot. There's a jingle that they use about buying groceries in Aeon, and that thing keep repeating, so it becomes reinforcing the message. People remember, oh, like this. It's like before this we have Trivago now, hotel Trivago or something like that. So it's the same thing also. So that's where the content repurposing comes in lah. So like I mentioned just now, what if my followers notice that I repurpose old content? So people say like, malas, these people lazy, keep using old content. It will be that if you use your content, but you don't put any adding new value to it. For example, I have you can see like I can put in any Instagram post, I have created a lot of memes for DMC Instagram posts. So I can use that meme actually. But in a way, I don't have to keep using, I don't just like repost the meme, but I keep reinforcing new message, adding new value to it. So that's where when people say this, you just don't like shy away from it. You be upfront, you try to, yes, this is an old content, but you are adding new value. Meaning like I have one content talking about old and new content, for example, and then next time I do this, I say, oh, do you remember this thing happened? So you add new value. What happened this time? So there are people, you can see that there are a few influencers that add value through content. I have encountered a few in Instagram. They also do the same thing. I'm re-uploading this video again since there's two types actually. I'm re-uploading this video again to remember how I went viral last year. And then the same video like boom again, but it's actually the same video last year. And then the other part is I'm re-uploading this again to remind people about what happened recently. So there's a context to it. So one thing you need to do is you be upfront and be transparent, and then you explain the context. So why you bringing out the content is just like suka-suka ke? So let's say for example, I have previously we did a content about effortless video creation with AI. So I can bring out back that content because why? One thing is it's about AI tools. Second is about content also. So I can like say, hey, you remember this webinar that we did before? You can use these particular tools to actually do repurpose your content from text to video. So I can like bring out the thing, but you put the context there. So that's where you need to be upfront. So remember when people confront you, you say one, you be upfront to it. You say, okay, yes, this is old content. Why we put this? Because there's a new update to it. There's something new about the particular situation. Second, you explain the content. So that's the thing lah. You don't just put new content and then you don't explain. So people will say, oh, these people lazy lah. Ambil content saja, say, okay, this is the old content that you want. So the part where the next part is how you can do it. You content repurpose. So what I will always suggest is you repurpose evergreen pillar content. What does evergreen pillar content mean? Evergreen is meaning that it doesn't, it doesn't go out of time. It always relevant. So example, evergreen topic is like health. It's about fat loss or about like learning language. That's always evergreen. So yeah, if you have content that is evergreen, then you are very, very good. You can see like if you go to Google Trend, you can see like kind of up and down. But so it's not like constantly flat and then suddenly up, and then it's like constantly up and down, up and down. So you know that thing is evergreen. There are times that it will push up a bit. So that is evergreen. But pillar content, there are 3 pillar content that you need to remember. So one is blog post, second is video, and then third one is podcast. So nowadays, podcast is like in Malaysia before this, you don't really hear much about podcasts. But recently, due to boom in video marketing, even YouTube itself do podcast section in YouTube. So you can actually put podcast video there. I mean, like it's like radio station podcasting. Their daily show lah. There's a particular podcast is, but we know recent boom on video, but blog post is always like an evergreen content since the beginning of internet. I think everyone keep posting content in a form of blog post in articles. So either whether you do it on your own from blogspot.com or you create your own website and then you put also. So why I say, so these 3 is the pillar content. You notice that social media post is not part of pillar content. Why? Because usually social media post is most of it like content that you repurpose, that you created for the purpose of content repurposing. It's not a pillar content that you created like by putting a lot of effort from it lah, maybe. So based on this webinar also lah. So our main content is our webinar, which is the video. But our small minor content here, the minor content is actually the social media post. So that's, you see there's a pillar post there, and then there's a the minor post there. So This is general. If you Google, I get this from YouTube, then from Google also. If you go search content repurposing, you will see this. They can say, okay, from old blog posts, you can create ebook or guide, and then new blog posts. You can do new email newsletter, video content, podcast, and then answer Quora question. And then if you have white paper or statistic, you can use that to create like infographic or white paper report, social media post or PowerPoint. And then if you have internet data, then you can do webinar, infographics here. You can see case study, expert roundup. So there's a bunch of content repurposing idea, but actually there are two things that I need to bring you to an attention. There's a two type of content repurposing actually. So there are reactive content repurposing, reactive, and then the second part is active content repurposing. So I'm going to explain this afterwards. So reactive purposing. So what is reactive purposing? Reactive purposing is mainly that you have this particular content, and then you write the content, you publish the content, and then based on what existing content that you have, you create a smaller minor content for it. So you can see here, you have a blog post, and then you create Twitter, LinkedIn, social video, and email newsletter. So the flow, you can see like you wait first. So you publish new content, and then suddenly, oh, this article is like gaining traction from our website. That suddenly high volume for this article. So you know, oh, this article evergreen is very high volume search. So if you see that, and then you go and create a new content based on that particular content that performs well. So that's where the thing is like, oh, we need to repurpose this content, That's when you created another content, and then you delay on creating a new content. That's why they call it reactive, because you wait for the result first, and then you create the repurposed content from that good content there. The next one that I mentioned is active repurposing. What active is the opposite of reactive repurposing, meaning that when you create the blog post, you already create your minor content there. You create immediately Twitter tag, your LinkedIn, social media, email, video. So you already create your blog. You create at the same time the small minor content, and then once you publish that blog post, you use that small content that you publish on your social media to link back to your pillar content. So whatever pillar content that you're doing, so here is stated that the pillar content is blog post. So you have blog post here, meaning that the pillar content will link back to the website. So if you have a pillar content as a video, the video content will link back to YouTube. And then if you have podcast, then it will link back to the podcast episode, either YouTube or Spotify. So this is the active repurposing, meaning that when you active the repurposing, you create new content, and then you publish, you create also the small content, and then you publish at the same time just to link together, to like interlink the thing. It's not really like interlink within the same website, but interlink, something like that. So you connect, you use the smaller content to bring traction to your pillar content. So far, do you have any idea which one actually that you should focus on? Active repurposing is good. So let me rewind back again. So don't do this reactive repurposing, meaning that you create content, you wait for it to you wait for it to perform, and then you create new content. You create a new pillar content. No, you do reactive content. You do active repurposing, meaning that you create your pillar content, at the same time you create your minor content, and then after that you publish everything at the same time just to bring traffic to the pillar content. So that's what you should do actually. So we are moving faster. I mean, like small group. I'm alone also. So we have this how to use AI for this content repurposing. So I'm going to show you a few tools. So as we all know, is ChatGPT. What ChatGPT do is actually that helps you to summarize long form, helps you to write script for videos or podcasts. Also they help you to translate. So if you repurpose a content into a different different language, that's where ChatGPT do. So that's why here it say that if you do blog posts, you can use ChatGPT to write a script for webinar or podcast or social media posts. I'm not sure if anyone of you heard about Harper. Have you heard about Harper? So Harper is actually an extension of ChatGPT. So if you have Harper, they can actually like, let me share this text first. Okay, they can actually help you to like, you don't have to do the command on your own. So that's what makes it easy actually. So you can just, you see here, long summary, reply to text or command, and then you can see like marketing part, and then you can see a branding guide, marketing content idea generator, sales pitch writer. So this is where Harpa is. You don't have whatever you things that you put here, it will be linked to your ChatGPT. So we have a blog post. So we can use this blog post to create what I mentioned just now, script for video. So let me try. Okay, I'm going to take this thing and then say create a video script based on this article. So ChatGPT is very good. Since the new update, there's a lot of new things they do. Previously, we need this plugins, I would say. You need plugins where you can use like a few from, and now they did everything on their own. So, okay, this is what I encounter based on my browsing in Twitter. So there are things that say that there are two things that I encounter in Twitter that say, one, ChatGPT is becoming lazy. You create everything here, and then they don't create it for you. It just gives like something summary like this. And then the second is you don't go all, how do I say, you don't be sopan with them. I know Charles always say like, please be like sopan with them so that they don't, when they take over the world, they still remember you for being nice. But be straightforward actually, because I don't think their programming language actually ask people to be nice. But I don't know. One people, I see a few people discussing, they say you should be straightforward. So like I'm going to straightforward. Okay, create the script. Or I will say to create the script for the video. See whether they speed up the content or not. Okay, so we have this. So when you have this, you can use the content that I mentioned before, the Flicky. So you can use that to create a video. Or if you have your in-house content creator, then they can use this script to do a talking video, meaning like they record on their own and then you can post that thing. So one thing you know that you can create a script from there. And then the next part is actually you can ask them to summarize also. But the summarize part you can use Harpa actually. So what I mentioned here, let that GPT do its work first. Okay, so this is the article. And then you see the Harpa extension. I'm not sure whether you can see it from here. There's a small H extension on my left screen. Here you click H and then you go for, I would say, short summary. I don't want to read too long. Malas. So here. So Harpa will do the short summary for you. So you can just like see this. But this doesn't just work for text. You can do this for video also. So when you go for video, let's say we try other people video. Okay, here you have repurpose YouTube video, convert YouTube video into text. So I'm going to click this. This AI is reading this video content as well as the description stated here. And then based on that, they will create like the text. So passing from video page, video long may take a few seconds to pass. So if you have a very long video, they will give you some time lah. So and then they say video analysis complete. Let me know how you want to repurpose the video. So I say I don't want it to make it into Twitter thread. I mean, like not all the tweet is X. So I accidentally click article. Okay. So let's say I use article, and then you can choose writing style. So you want to use keys or SWOT or IDA or PAS. So I'm going to use IDA lah, for example. So and then you have this here, article style in terms of this, and then you can use this to like elaborate even more to in ChatGPT also. Let's say I want to see the write entire article. So for example, so okay, see, they just ask you, you just click. You don't have to type in the prompt, and then they will create the whole article for you based on this video. Okay, this part is called Auto AI and Buzz. I'm going to show you Auto AI first because Auto AI is actually I have it's on PC. I mean, like it's on browser, so I don't have to like change my screen. So Auto AI. So last year, I think last year and last a few years before, DMC is doing this apa nama dia, CDEC. If you are not sure about this, you can go straight to a CDEC website, CDEC YouTube, where DMC organize like 3 months each weeks. You have like webinar for particular topic for like 3 hours. One topic, 3 hours. So we do this for 3 months. So there's a bunch of topic in terms of e-commerce, starting from like the first one is about creating e-commerce website, e-commerce business, then promoting it, and then managing the business. So I was given a task to write a report for that particular event, and then the report is actually I need to summarize the whole video. So being the lazy person I was like, I don't have time to watch all this video. Let me search the thing for you. Okay, here. So being the lazy person I am, I was like, I don't have time to watch the video. This is like tedious, but I need to summarize this. I don't want to go through the whole video for like a long time, and then like I need to wait, and then I type in the thing. So what I do was actually use Auto AI. Okay, so using Auto AI here.
Actually accurate one. It's just that we are not aware how they learn on it. Okay, so that virtual.
So this is one of the things that I did actually. So if you see this video here, let me show you this. So I swear whether they have like this year they don't run this CDEC webinar. I'm not sure. Yeah, this one. So we have this video, for example. Let me click this, and then you have this whole video talking about give.
No, is NFTs, right? NFTs are access to the metaverse.
So we have this, and I need to summarize the thing. So there are certain topics that I'm interested in. So I will sit down and like I will listen. But certain times I'm lazy. I have other tasks I need to do. So what I did was actually I go to Auto AI here, and then I just click record. So when I click record, and then I click the video, then Auto AI will transcribe the thing for me. So I did. Charles introduced me to this text because I told him, I said, I need to do this thing, and then I need to submit the report like within 3 days, and so I cannot like do your task urgently. So Charles said, okay, use this. So that's what I did. So when I did this, I just need to like read through to ensure there's a error to it. So you can see this pasal pagi semalam, so it's not this. So I can just like redo the thing, comment or thing. So as long as I can like copy this thing, put in my article, and then like I can just like convert into text. This is way before ChatGPT and Harpa comes in. So that's why I'm using Auto at that time. So from there on, I create my report like that. So that's the one part of like using Auto AI actually is. So the next the next tool that I have here is Buzz. So Buzz is same transcribing, but it's actually an independent software. This one my colleague suggested to me. So you can download, I will share the slide later. You can click the link. So Buzz actually transcribe and translate audio offline on your personal computer powered by AI Whisper. So when you have the content and then you have this, and then you can like open the software and then you can let it translate for you. So this is the software actually, Buzz. So when I click this software, so I click the software and then it gives me like a few videos. So as you can see here, I have like file already completed because last year Charles gave me a course and he asked me to summarize that course. So I use Buzz actually. Okay, so I need to click plus here. Okay, I have this video. And then they call you like what's the AI model, Whisper, Open API. I just let it default most of the time. And then what's language, and then what is the task. So you can transcribe or translate. I'm going to use it translate. And then you can choose export whether as an SRT. So basically you can create subtitle for your video or text. This is just text. So I'm going to use text for now. And then I can do SRT also. Let me do both. And then you let this thing run. So it will queue the task on your PC while it's doing that. You can see like there's something pop out there. It's using like some sort of like AI and then files in your PC because you need to download the file from the page that I mentioned just now, and then you can install it in your PC. So while this like you do things, I'm going to move on and then we can check out this afterwards. So I'm back here with the file. So you can actually see from here, let me zoom. Okay, you can see that the Buzz actually finished completing this in like SRT format, which is the subtitle format. So they can say like, okay, from 0 second to 7 second, okay, this is the size that I recommended. Of course, you can use Canva. So when you have this, actually you don't have to like use a lot of things also. So when you click export, you can convert into text, SRT or VTT. I'm not sure what VTT is, but let's go for SRT. And then save into desktop lah, obviously. So now I share it and then click save. Okay, let me close this. It's already completed. Thank you, Buzz. And then let me open the file. WordPad. Just one. Okay, so you can see from the screen here is an SRT file. So you have this, and then you can upload. If you have a video on YouTube, you can just like upload the content. And then what you need to, you just like any word that you notice they wrongly do, you can just change this word. Canva, for example, you can just control F things up. So that's where what Buzz actually do. So the Auto AI that I mentioned just now, what they do is they transcribe audio or video into text. So what you can do this is if you have a webinar or podcast like I have just now, I can just like download the video and then or just use the Auto AI and then it will transcribe into text and you can use that to create a blog post. Okay, perhaps the Harpa is just going to give a summary, but this way you can get like 100% transcription to the particular video or audio file that you have. So for now it's in progress, 46%. Never mind, we let it run first, we move on. So the next part is actually 11 labs. So 11 labs is actually a text to speech. I'm not sure if everyone has been to my previous webinar. I did talk about 11 labs before, but I'm going to show this again. So this is the 11 labs thing. So they have a few voice library, which is where you can change a text into a voice. So if you encounter a few video in TikTok that use some sort of like a video, it can be actually an AI because this software is, I would say, amazing. Is where you can see like a real voice, not like very, very robot feel voice. It's very good. So once you go to text to speech and then let me see this. Also, it's still in progress. So when you go to text to speech or speech to speech, this one I think this is new. I never see speech to speech, but we can try later if they give free learning. So for example, I have this radio guy set up. And so I can just put in here, hi, welcome to DMC DMChampion webinar by DMC. See how that works.
Hi, welcome to DMChampion webinar by DMC.
So that's the voice that you get. Let me play again.
Hi, welcome to DMChampion webinar by DMC.
Okay, so that's the voice is really real, not really like macam fake sounding voice. This one, Flicky, I already shared with you before. You can check out my video, which is effortless video creation using AI. It's on YouTube, DMC YouTube. So I explain in detail about Flicky there. So you can go into that video. What Flicky do is actually Flicky take any blog post, you put in the text, and then you can convert that tools into video. It's very amazing. Like before this, I teach you using CapCut how to do that manually. But with Flicky, you can just input, and then the whole AI will do that for you. It's very magical, I would say. Again, thank you, Charles, for discovering the tool. A lot of people are happy with it. And then another part of it is Canva. So Canva is you can use any text content, blog post, and convert it into social media posts. So why I say Canva is people know, okay, Canva is very easy. We know already you can create content through Canva, but they have something new called Mega Studio here, Magic Studio here. Magic Studio where you can use this Magic Studio, and then you can add the magic design for presentation, design for video. So that's the end of it actually for today. So remember 3 things that I mentioned just now. Let me go back to my screen. So 3 things you should remember. One is make sure you repurpose a pillar content. You can repurpose small content to long content, but that takes a lot more effort. What you do is you take your pillar content, your blog post, your live video, your podcast, your webinar, you take that pillar content and you repurpose into smaller chunks. And when you do that, that's called reactive repurposing actually. I mean more reactive because you already create the content, you already publish, and then you create a smaller content from it. But moving forward, you try and do active repurposing. Right? When you create your pillar content, at the same time you create also your social media minor content. So from then on, you can use that small content to bring the traffic to your pillar content. So usually pillar content you can earn money from it. So if you do blog, you can use Google AdSense, and then if you do podcasts in YouTube, you can earn from YouTube, again Google AdSense, and then if you do video, YouTube again, Google AdSense. So that's where the pillar contents come in there. So I say focus on your pillar content, focus on the repurposing that pillar content, and then bringing traffic to that. But so far, any question before I end? No, okay. Why before I end? Okay. So are all mentioned tools free? 11 Lab is free, but you cannot use it for commercial purposes. For free one. If you pay, then you can use for commercial purposes. And then for Canva, definitely you need to pay. ChatGPT 4.0 definitely kena pay. Auto AI, I have free account, but no need, you can just download. And then 11 Lab free, and then Flicky, they have free account, but it's just for one video, it's trial actually. And then Canva, you need to pay the Magic Studio. So most AI tool currently everything you need to pay. So if you get AI tool yang very free, you're very lucky actually. Next week is our last webinar for 2020 2023. I almost salah there. Last webinar for 2023 is a metric that matter, decoding social media analytics. So one year we'll talk about like social media analytic metrics, whether you see the view, reach, inspiration thing, and then how you can read that particular data to use that to improve your campaign. So that's 1 year for you next week, right before Christmas. And then after that, we'll take a break until next year, and then we'll come back again in 2024. So make sure you attend the last one. And that's it from me. I hope you enjoy the session and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.